Welcome back to Bleach Boys, doing episode 18, the Masked and Masculine premiere ringside fight episode. Very exciting. We're going to see two captains become absolute frauds and one become actually OG. It's not a captain, actually. So,
right?
Hate to see it for those two people.
Real quick, did this episode seem to just fly by?
Well, so like it felt, I feel like that's why I was saying last time with the pacing. If this were any other anime, we got two captains fighting one man bad guy, a whole other fight that wraps up in this episode as well. We would have been looking at least 3 to 5 episodes.
That's what I was thinking. I expected, what we do end up with just being kind of cut in half and then continuing the rest.
Yeah, it was fucking lightning fast.
I'm okay with it though, but it was just like, holy shit, this is going fast.
This episode has some really fucking good animation, like really, really good. I do want to say, and I want to put an asterisk before we even hop into this episode, all the talk of the Komamura Bankai from last time, I went back and I watched the OG, like when he first released it the first time, which was a lot of just like a standing picture. It wasn't even that much. You didn't even get to see much of his Bankai. I missed the color in Bleach. Yeah. I missed the color.
Like the happy tones and more
I didn't realize how much vibrant. I missed it until I went back and saw the original. I was like, man, I missed the color.
But that's just a nostalgia talking, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not.
He's like, no.
I love how this looks. It's incredible. It looks super, super good. Like the animation for this whole season and for that first season as well has been incredible. I just missed the vibrant colors of the original one.
Okay. I definitely see that though. It makes sense though. This is a darker, more gritty Bleach, being at war. And then we had like the old school stuff where it's all light and sunny all the time.
I'm going to be a bit of a downer. I just feel like they're using the shadows just to hide details, I
think you could do that. It makes sense.
And it's just like, I went back and I watched it and I was like, man, I love like this style that they have going on right now. Like I said, again, I'm going to be a broken record. It looks fucking incredible. All right. But I like the original style so much more. So much more.
Well, I hope they remake Bleach.
Remember at the end of last season when we got to see a shot in the daytime, I was like, look, colors. They're back.
Yeah, and it was great. It was so good. And I guess maybe that goes with, like, because they were saying the tone where it's like, oh, it's going to be this depressing, long, war. It's going to be dark and moody. I need some colors, man.
Would you compare it to Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
All dark
I would.
and
I need some colors, man. Like, please, give me something. It could be nighttime and I could still get some colors in here. Like, it's depressing.
I mean, it is a war.
Whenever we switch back to My Yuri, we get some good color.
That is true, especially as RGB.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's hop into the episode. That's where the episode starts. We're with Squad 6 in the Research and Development Department. And I immediately put Kisuke and Akon are just having this nice little conversation back and forth. They're besties.
They're homies.
They're fucking besties.
I like that.
Way more than what Mayuri ever had a conversation with him at all. Mm-hmm. It's like Akon's probably like, fuck, I wish I could work under Kisuke. So we get a big update here. And I absolutely fucking love this scene. I've said already before that I love wrap-up episodes, and this felt like a little bit of a little wrap-up here. Here's where we're standing currently. I was like, fuck yes. So the Serite is about 42% of its whole forces left still alive. The active military strength is sitting at about 30%. Soifon is currently injured, and Omaida is transporting her to get first aid. Hizugai's spiritual pressure completely disappeared after his last battle. Kenpachi straight up just isn't answering any calls. I kind of feel like I'm doing my Hero Academia recap of how fast this is going. I'm going to slow it down for a second. Akon tells them to just ignore Squad 11 as a whole. Just forget him.
Hey, he knows... He knows what's up.
Hey, rude as fuck is what I gotta say. I'd be like, man, I still like to be invited to the party. I like to get a call, but it's like, man, I don't gotta answer. You don't just gotta stop inviting me. We learned that Squad 3 and 9, which, Rose and Kensei, they are, of course, good for now. And they were apparently assessing the situation, air quotes. Bullshit. And then Mayuri calls Shunsui and informs him that, while he was busy fucking around with Jugrim there, our forces have dwindled down to 30%. And he tells him to do his job. So
I do like that, though. Yeah. He's like, do your job, head captain.
Yeah. So he patches him through to everybody here, and that's when we see that the latest map of the Soul Society proper has been uploaded to everybody's old school flip phones, so now they can see the actual layout of Soul Society as we know it now. And he tells everybody to stop fighting individually, head to the nearest barracks that are actually still there, and not exhaust yourself.
Begin the regrouping.
Yeah, which is a good game plan, really. I don't think, this is a horrible memory, but I don't think we see much of the fodder anymore after this. Is that correct, Pythes?
No, not a whole lot.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this is just a good in-universe excuse. It's like, yeah, fall back, bunker up. And then like, okay, now we can just send the G's out there. We don't got to worry about the other shit.
Literally everything that happens before the opening theme is all anime only.
Okay.
I like this.
I got to give it to him again because I loved this whole part where they're like, what's going on in the world? Here's what's happening with the war. Here's what the forces are at. Here's how everything is looking. Here's the status of a lot of the key players. And it's like, damn, that is great.
It's perfect. It's what the old recaps should have been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was very, very good. In-universe recap is basically what that was, and they knocked it out of the park. So we go immediately back to the masculine and Kensei interaction, which we saw last time.
He did the Luffy.
Yeah, they wasted no fucking time on that, which, once again, it just goes to the pacing of this episode. The rewind recap again, quick in-universe, back to where we left off last episode. And then I was thinking when I saw the Luffy technique that happened, we see the whole interaction with Kensei again, where he's like, "Oh, I was going to go and investigate those over there." Now, let's say if Kensei didn't stop Mask from leaving, he would have just gone over there and got fucked up, right? And we still would have had Kensei and Rose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens when
agree.
you butt your nose in other people's business, man. If they just let Mask leave, they could have saved anybody in the area. They could have done their assessing the situation like Miri said they were doing. Instead, they butted in. They got fucked up. Shuhei was already fine. Ikaku was already fine. Yumichiko's fine. They weren't dead. They could have just waited and picked them up. They could have just waited.
To be fair, though, they are captains and they are assessing the situation and taking care of any unwanted guests.
Let me ask you this, Jose. How well did they assess the situation to get fucked up 10
know
seconds
they did
later,
not
dude?
do well.
They didn't assess
I'm
shit.
just saying they did their job.
They did
it horribly.
If they were assessing the situation, apparently, why did they not watch for a second and they already have that intellect where they're like, oh, we need to kill James? Instead, they had to wait for Shuhei to tell him.
Well, because Shuhei regained consciousness later.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. If they were assessing the situation, where the fuck were they?
Well,
Come on.
To be fair, Mask was about to crush Shuhei's head.
Yeah, he was about to get curb stomped, dude.
Listen, what's one crushed watermelon in a field of a million? All right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, Shuhei's pretty cool.
He just spent an entire training arc trying to get that guy learn Bankai.
All right, yeah.
And Kensei just goes,
that's right.
And this is what I got.
It's like when you hire somebody new at work, you get them all the way through the training, they fucking quit. It's like, oh man, dude,
damn it.
It's like I don't want to start all over, so he fucking hopped in there and got to work, I guess.
Sunk cost fallacy. He doesn't want to give up now.
There you go. He's already invested so much into Shuhei. He's like the piece of shit. So Kensei immediately goes Bankai as promised, which I thought was beautiful. Again, just really well. I like seeing his Bankai come together, and
That's
we
cool.
get Matt. Yeah, super cool. And we get Mask to Mask in. He rips off his cape and immediately fucking drop kicks Kensei.
I thought that was hilarious.
He goes for the Renji move right on Kensei. I'm like, holy shit. And Kensei blocks. And he's like, oh, well, you're telling me that idiot lost to attack like this, and fucking gut punches him, which, going to be a little ironic on that quote that he just did there. So we get an explanation of Kensei's powers here, which I don't know if we've ever gotten it.
I don't
My memory
remember
just
it at all.
escapes me on this one. So
It was in there.
Okay.
It
So
was
we
in
learned
the
that.
manga.
Oh, no. But did we know this before this part in the manga?
No.
Okay. So this is the first time we're getting an explanation of his power, because we've seen his powers before. He just gets roasted.
He got wrecked by Wonderwise, I think.
So
Boy,
he
did
explains that Tachikaze is a Zanpakuto that can cause its sword trajectory to explode, which that was the direct Hulu translation. What the fuck does that mean?
Pythes?
What do you mean?
Okay, his power of his, I assume this is of his Shikai that we're talking about originally, causes its sword trajectory to explode. So does he slash in the air and it causes explosions behind it? What is that initial power?
Well, he does use a Kamehameha kind of thing when he's training Ichigo. So, and he did use that off his Shikai, so maybe that was it.
So he can maybe shoot some sort of extension, but instead it's an explosion forward.
I guess. I mean, when he punches Mask and he holds it there, it just keeps exploding.
But that's the Bankai power. That's why I was wondering if this is two different explanations, because he says that the regular Tachikaze causes its sword trajectory to explode. And then he goes on further to say his Tekken Tachikaze is a Bankai that crams the force of these explosions into his fist.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's like percussion. He swings his thing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. So it's like he swings it, but then almost like a sound wave or something hits you, like an explosive one.
Yeah, you seem like a character that punches really hard.
Like All Might when he punches like a Detroit Smash and it just sends something flying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what I'm thinking.
I still don't understand it, but okay. Anyways.
The lore master has not paid attention to Kensei for shit.
I mean,
It's like,
with good reason.
attention, everybody. The lore master is bowing out on this one. Thank you. It's like,
I think Kensei's cool. I just don't care about him a whole lot.
and
I agree. I mean, his character design's badass.
I would argue that keeps you right in line with Kubo. So congratulations, by these.
Well, we linked up at Minstrel Cycles on that.
Yeah. So he says that the explosive power will continue to assault you as long as his fist is in contact with you. So basically, he could hold it up against you and it just
That's
fucking
badass.
keeps going nonstop.
I do like that. That's cool.
Yeah, incredible. And then Massive Masculine gets fucking sent flying all over the place, and then his chest is really fucked up. And that's when we see James, aka Pythes, cry for Mister.
Hell
And
yeah.
Shuhei starts crawling towards him, is like, Kensei, you gotta get rid of the little guy first. And then James cries out for Superstar. And I thought they went fucking hard on this. When his mask lights up,
I thought that was badass.
were they on crack animating that for that one scene?
Japanese love wrestling,
Dude,
okay?
they went ape
They
shit, like
know
with the
what's up.
crackling of the light, and
Yup.
the animation got crazy just for like the 5 seconds. I was like, that was what the fuck.
Speaking of wrestling, this episode did air the same night as SummerSlam.
Ah, okay.
okay,
I didn't
alright.
even realize that.
Yeah, Kubo planned that from day one, of course. He knew
Yeah,
SummerSlam.
yeah, he
was
knew.
gonna
He
be on that
planned
day.
it from chapter 1.
Yeah, he's the Eisen of the wrestling world. He knew this day was going to come. So Mask gets back up, launches Kensei into a tower, punches Rose as well, and he declares himself as S, the superstar. And Kensei immediately recoups and attempts to fly back and attack him, but he's met with a Star Eagle kick and a Star Headbutt.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
when he goes Volstang, right? Or-
No, not yet.
No,
Not yet.
Okay, that's right before.
So at this point, Kensei's able to connect, and explosions just start going off rapidly while Mask is blocking, basically protecting his head. And Mask declares that that's not going to work on him, and Kensei gets his fucking arm broken, which I don't know if you guys noticed. Kensei gets his arm broken. He's on the ground. We see the blood start to come out. You can see the bone.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
That
I
why?
had to pause it because I wasn't sure for a second. I was
That
like,
is
"Damn."
gruesome. They don't like draw the bone wide or anything, but you can see it coming out of his arm. I'm like, that's
That's that
fucked
compound fracture
up.
right there,
yeah,
dude.
That is really bad. Like, he's donezo. And, you know,
That is more brutal than any of the clean arm cuts that have happened in the other anime.
Well, yeah, and I feel like you could argue that probably a scene that would have rivaled that, which would they cut from the anime, was Udio getting his arm fucking cut off by Okiura. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not even in the anime. And this one now is in the adult time slot, so they're allowed to show that kind of
Hey,
stuff.
let's
And they're
go.
like, we're gonna break this fucker's arm. We're gonna draw the bone bleeding. Crazy shit. So Kensei gets slammed on again. Mask says he doesn't even need a 10 count here because he's already fucked up. And then Rose, out of all people, does like a pro gamer move and just cuts James in half without like
I legit
stabs him,
forgot
cuts
about
him.
that. And he's just like, nah. He
Yeah.
wraps it around him and just
I was like,
slices
damn,
him.
all right, Rose, respect. Like, he's thinking. And
My girlfriend came in and she's like, what the fuck? A little kid just got murked. I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't understand,
Yeah.
okay?
You don't understand, that's Pythes. It's not a little kid.
You don't understand. Pythes is making him too strong.
Yeah, it was a necessary evil. So Rose declares that loud and noisy guests are not welcome in his dance. And Rose begins to form his Bankai, which is weird, like golden doll things.
They remind me of the Demogorgon from Stranger
Totally.
Things. The way they
Totally.
open up their face.
Yep, just like golden version of him. And he pulls out his conductor sticks, and these two floating gold hands start
I thought that was
floating behind him.
cool. I was like, all right, this is pretty sick.
Once again, they do the thing with CG, which I hate, and I didn't notice it when they did with the Komura thing, but I noticed it here. The frame rate starts getting really shitty the moment the CG
It's
gets
slowed
on the
down.
screen. And I know they do that to be artistic, and I fucking hate it. They slow down the CG because like, oh, well, the frame rate of animation is this much frame rate, but then on CG it looks choppy. And they're like, well, we're just doing the same frame rate. It's like, no, don't do the same frame rate. Like, make it look smooth. It looks horrible. Anyways, the Bankai was cool. That's all I gotta say about the animation of that. So we get Bankai Kinshara Budodan, and it is a dance troupe of death, and the price of admission is your life, says Rose. The first program he titles Sea Drift, as water begins to spin and kind of engulf around Mask to Masculine. And the second program is Prometheus, as they begin to shoot fire at Mask as well. And Mask at this point knows something's fucking up. He says no Zanpakuto can control both water and fire at the same time. And this is where Rose really fumbles the bag. He fumbles the bag really hard here.
This is the part I have been so excited to get to since they announced the anime was coming back.
So Rose says, that's right. My technique is deception, which rule number 1, you don't reveal your technique is deception, okay? And he says, deceptions always capture the hearts of others. And Rose continues saying that he controls music. And the deceptive melody that echoes in your ears will captivate your heart. When your heart is captivated by my spell, you will burn and breathe your last. So he goes to do his third program called Ein Heldenleben. and Mask is just standing there plugging his ears. And Rose is at first caught a little bit off guard, like, is this guy really fucking trying to plug his ears? And he says that plugging ears aren't going to help. And Mask pulls his ears out, or pulls his fucking fingers out, shows that there's blood all over them. Rose realizes that he ruptured his fucking eardrums, and it just goes to shit from there. So, like, I just listen.
Pro gamer move though on his part.
Listen, I don't get Rose's Bankai. I don't fucking get it, because if Mask had the ability, okay, he goes on to kill Rose. Okay, we're gonna get to that coming up. But if Mask had the ability to shoot the fucking laser this whole time, why would he even fuck around? Just shoot the laser. Literally, Rose's Bankai has Rose standing there stationary. Stationary. The shittiest Bankai I've ever seen. Does it trap Mask and Masculine in there? He doesn't even say. Does it stun him? Apparently not, because he can still move his fucking arms. That is the shittiest Bankai I've ever seen.
It's Power Rangers rules. You gotta let people show off the cool thing.
But, like, if he's just going to be able to move after that and, like, even move his hands to puncture his fucking eardrums, it's not like, oh, that active in puncturing his eardrums all of a sudden makes it so he's broken free of this melody. He was full on moving before that. What a shit.
He didn't really know what was going on.
Well, it's like the sound waves are what causes them to do or feel the water and the fire. Is that correct, Python?
Yeah. Those don't actually exist. And they show, like, him getting the burns.
Oh, my God. It's like Demon Slayer.
Yeah. But... why can he move? He needs to be part of the Bankai. Needs to be that I'm like controlling your
immobilized,
body. Like
kind
you're
of
immobilized.
Thing. Yeah, like
you're immobilized by this sound. But instead, he's just like full on. Oh, what's happening? Oh, let me plug my ears. Let me puncture them. It's like Rose has been a captain. You know, not that long because he got fucking kicked out. But he's had the Bankai for how fucking long? Thousands of years, and he's never had somebody try to puncture their own fucking eardrums. What a dumbass.
Maybe he didn't explain it then.
Dude, well, what the fuck's happening now? What the fuck is happening now?
He got cocky.
Cocky was what? He saw Kensei get fucked up.
I was watching this whole scene with the biggest shit-eating grin on my face. Like, oh, he's gonna tell him. He's gonna tell him, and then he gets shot. And it's.
I do love the special beam cannon.
Well, just like, why even tell him? I get the explaining the abilities like an anime thing, and it's for a lot of times for the audience. Why mention the part about the ears? Why mention that? It could just be like, oh, my power's music. All right, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, he's like, oh yeah, once it hits your ears, by the way, hey, heads up, Mask, your ears, by the way, is where my powers go. And he's like, oh, all right, yeah, well, hey, done, and just fucking takes it out.
Might as well have just started handing out a pamphlet going, hello, my name is Rose. This is how my powers work. Here's how you stop it. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, exactly. His TED Talk.
Hey,
it's
man,
like, here you go.
What if you had noise canceling headphones? Would that work?
Jose,
No.
honestly, I
He's like, no.
I think that would work, Jose. I'm on board. Noise canceling headphones, done. Because apparently, what is the puncturing of the eardrums? What does that even accomplish?
Well, you can't process like noise coming into your ear anymore.
I punctured my eardrum once, and I could still hear.
It stops the shit from vibrating. It's specifically the vibrations.
Okay, now here's another thing. I punctured my eardrums once, and my whole ear felt like it was still vibrating.
That's
I
just
have
you.
Sam has bad ears.
First-hand experience
Sam
with
has
this.
bad ears.
I fucking punctured my eardrum one night, really late at night, full on hole in the eardrum.
Wait, how?
Listen, I had a really bad ear infection. My ear was really clogged up. I was trying to make it so I can actually hear my ear because I was all clogged up. So I was trying to get earwax out of it, which you're not supposed to do, by the way. Don't put your finger in your ear. And I literally poked through my eardrum. Yeah.
How the fuck does anyone do that?
So didn't feel lovely. But I did not feel a pain, in case anybody was wondering. Felt pretty painless. It was only when blood started gushing down out of my ears that I had a little bit of a meltdown, and I could feel my whole ear like, almost. I don't know how to explain it, but like my whole ear.
I have nothing to say to that. Holy shit!
So I could beat Rose. That's all I'm saying.
Sam could destroy Rose.
Yep.
Just hit him with your Bankai.
Yeah, I could beat anybody that way, Jose, but non-Bankai, I could beat Rose. So
could you counter his Bankai with loud enough music?
Good question. What if we took Jiro, the speaker girl from My Hero Academia, and we had her blast her speaker? Like, is that a counter? Like, how does it work?
What if we blast a rude sandstorm loud enough?
Can a simple DJ beat Rose?
Get that subwoofer going.
Can DJ Khaled? Can he beat Rose?
Honestly, I think so. I think we're ruling it that I think so far, I'm going to declare this right here, right now. So far of the whole anime, and I don't think anybody's going to beat it, Rose fumbled the biggest bag I've ever seen.
Biggest.
I agree.
And I don't think anybody's going to beat it. There's just not a chance in hell.
I think he fumbled even more than all those people that thought they could 1v1 Yamamoto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Because that was right there was gumption. You know, they were like, yeah, let's fuck this guy up. You know, like I support the thoughts that they could do that. You know, it's like that's some confidence right there that everybody should have in day to day. Rose was just a moron. Like there's nothing else to say about that.
Oh well.
Well, you know what? Going back to it, those 3 guys that Kenpachi killed. There was that one gorilla guy that yelled so loud it blew out Kenpachi's eardrums.
Yeah.
He could for sure counter Rose's Bankai.
True.
With that yell.
True. Or if it was a 2v2, he could just yell at his teammates. Eardrums are done. They're good to go.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Do you think Grimjo could do it when he releases?
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, remember Ichigo straight up says his roars are straight up.
You didn't even let him finish the sentence.
All he heard was "Yup."
King Grimjo. Yeah. Done.
You know what I mean, though. His sound waves when he roars.
That shit was so cool.
Such a good bit in the anime.
I think Grimjo will get roasted, honestly, but well, yeah, that's me.
Okay. How against Rose?
Yeah, against Rose.
Against Rose.
Yep. Like if apparently you're immune and you got to play by anime rules, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
I'd like to remind you that so far Rose's biggest accomplishment is he killed a Gillian once.
And he killed James. Once.
He kind of.
Hey, I'm easy to kill. That's not a milestone.
All right. Anyways. Rose gets fucking shot through the goddamn chest is where we're headed to this with a fucking stupid ass star blast. And Mask goes to finish off Rose because he's still fucking stumbling on the ground being a dumbass. And Renji appears in his new drip, which he looks very beautiful, very amazing. The glasses are an incredible look. An incredible look.
We got to the glasses and I'm like, that reminds me of the first time we saw him because he does the same thing.
Okay, I talk about later. There's a part where they're having their interaction, Mask and Renji, and he does a smirk. He looks like old school Renji. Like the first time that we see Renji where he looks like a fucking villain, they brought that back.
And he keeps calling himself a villain.
Yeah, they did a great job. This Renji right here looks so similar. It immediately brought me back to the first appearance of Renji, and I was like, dude, they nailed it.
So good. Mm-hmm. Full circle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Renji was cool? It seems like the anime did.
No, I don't remember when Renji was cool because he got fucking clowned on the moment he showed up in the anime. So must be talking about different characters.
He had a cool fight with Ichigo in Soul Society.
I mean, yeah, the rematch of the one that he already lost before Ichigo had powers. I wonder who was going to win that one.
Is that where Ichigo hits him with the first Getsuga?
I don't think he has Getsuga then. He cuts him real good though.
He cuts him across, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
When is the first Getsuga? Is it Kenpachi?
No, it's he does it normally against Byakuya for the first time.
Okay.
Then he goes Bankai.
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess he's still learning to be with fucking who we now know is Yuha in the Kenpachi fight, so it makes sense he does not have fucking stupid ass Getsuga yet.
They're both Zangetsu.
That's a cop-out answer if I've ever went. So anyway. What else? So, we get Renji's introduction as villain, and then also it's worth noting that Best Girl Rukia is there as well. And then we get the mid-credit scene coming up here. So,
hey, Rukia's buff as fuck.
Oh yeah,
straps I want to say, Kensei's big, muscular. I want to say like about 250. Rose might be a little bit skinnier, about like 210 or so. Straps him
Rose a 210 and Kensei a 250.
Oh, my man is ripped.
Kensei is way more ripped than Rose, and you're gonna put them close.
He's
like
taller.
That? I don't know, mate. I don't know. That's. I would say.
Pythes quickly Google their weights.
I would say Rose is probably in the 180-ish range.
Yeah, 180 would be
Kensei great. Gotta be weighing a fuck ton, man. What'd you put Kensei at?
About 250.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Kensei, I think you nailed. The other one, I don't know,
he's
mate.
under, I'm gonna be surprised because he's built.
Ain't no way.
Write that down. I am in fact looking up their heights and weights right now.
Okay, we'll swing back. Let me talk about the eye catchers really quick. So the first one is obviously about Rose. The second one is about Kensei. This is of course courtesy of Google Translate once again. Nobody's fucking translating these anymore to actually be legitimate English. So it says the Bankai of the Captain 3rd Division. And same time that his power is activated, the shape of Kinsara transforms from a golden whip to a piece of string is what they're trying to do there. It transforms into a dance troupe of a dozen of dancers and a hand that directs them. The dance company is then directed to show various hallucinations according to the performance, and the identity of the hallucination is music. The phony melody steals the opponent's hearts, which I mean the deceptive one, I assume is what I can say, and it turns hallucinations into a real phenomenon, inflicting damage, eventually leading to death.
Okay. Thank you.
So I wonder if his third melody is a guaranteed death thing like Shunsui's.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Rose is 6.5 feet tall, and he is 161 pounds.
Dude, I know.
What the fuck?
I was like, you're forgetting to count. They're Asian. So you're going based off of like this is a tall white boy.
Sorry, I'm going based off Americans.
Yeah, like no way,
status.
no way.
I
Okay,
get you.
Did we get
And
Kensei?
let's see.
He's probably gonna be like 180.
Kensei is 5'10" and a half, and he's
He's shorter than Danny.
Yeah, and he's 165.
Wait, is that what did we say for Rose?
He's 6.5.
161.
They're 4-pound difference between the two.
Yep.
Nah. That's crazy.
With all that muscle, and Kensei is like lighter than my sister.
This is why Kensei's a fraud, dog. This is why he's a fraud. With all that muscle and all that, like he weighs 4 pounds more than Rose, who looks like a twig.
Shout outs to the Bleach Wiki.
So let's go to the Kensei Bankai explanation now. And the Captain of the 9th Division, obviously, is Zanpakuto that explodes with the slash streaks, but I guess that would line up to what we were saying where he does the slash, then he does an explosion behind it, maybe. It says the Bankai, the power of explosion into fish. Then it says the shape can be changed according to the battle situation. As long as your fists are in contact with the enemy, you'll continue to hit the enemy with explosive power. So could he potentially not have brass knuckles? Or is it always a knuckle formation, but maybe the thing looped around him is a different shape?
I think so. I think it's as long as he makes contact with you, right?
So, but it says in here, this is of course Google Translate, but it says that the shape can be changed according to the battle situation.
So when he does his Bankai during the Fate Karakura Town arc, he has this weird kind of blade thing on it.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like a horseshoe.
Yeah, it looked like kind of like half
the sea, and it had spikes, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it had the spikes, but it did have kind of like a blade on it, and this time it was just brass knuckles. You can change like the fist shape depending on what he needs.
Okay, so
that's cool.
In the artwork of the eye catcher, he almost has like a battering shape on his fist.
Oh, that's
what he
really
has.
Cool.
So yeah, maybe that just says that whatever is on his fist changes into shape depending on what he needs.
Useful.
Yeah, potentially if we ever get to see him be of use. Period. So. Back to the episode where we get to see the actual person who's not going to be a fucking loser, Renji. Renji tells Rukia to just go ahead and take the two captains and leave, and he'll take this guy alone. Mask asks if he's sure that he does not want to double team him because, villains are dirty cowards, so they feel free to use any dirty means necessary to win. And this whole time Mask is talking to him, he recognized the whole villain thing, right? Mask says, it seems you said something cool, but I can't hear you.
I do like that. I thought
He
that was
just
funny.
heard him. He just heard him, though.
Did he really?
Yes. Like, what the fuck is that?
Selective hearing.
Well, is his eardrum damaged or not? Like, what is that? He literally, Renji introduced himself as a villain. Then he has a full conversation with him. He's like, "Oh wait, I can't hear you. Hello."
He learned how to listen from Sam.
Yeah, apparently he's reading lips or something fucking. I was gonna say something not nice about him, but I'm gonna be a bit more positive. So James starts yelling, "Cheer up, superstar!" and his eardrums become magically healed. Pythes, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, my apologies. I don't want to get shot against the wall here. Which I thought this was interesting as well. So his eardrums get healed, but he doesn't heal his chest. He doesn't heal his scuffed up arms. He keeps all of the other damage on him. Why would he not heal up to full?
He's like Grimjo. He's proud to have the scars.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's like part of his outfit, like wrestling. He's like, oh, like now I'm like the battle torn version. Like that's.
He
cool.
does look pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he looks cool. He
also,
really does.
let's be honest. Were any of those attacks actual shit to him?
Probably not. But I mean, it would still seem like it would make sense if you're going to heal. You might as well just heal everything, not just your fucking ears.
I was very selective during that fight. I only wanted to heal his ears.
Okay, good to know. It was a Pythes choice. So Renji immediately slashes James Pythes in two, and this is where we get the Renji smirking thing that we were talking about earlier, and it was beautiful. It looked just like OG. And Rukia starts to carry the two captains away, showing off how she's a buff girl carrying about 200 pounds on both arms at this point. Incredible.
Close to 300, I'd say.
Yeah. And so Rukia senses somebody's spiritual pressure, and it's probably like the ugliest girl in all of Bleach that she's sensing. And then she goes down into the rubble, and then we see it's Asane.
Oh,
yeah, man, I didn't know who that was gonna be.
She's kind of cute.
Pythes' opinion?
You know how I feel about Asane. That's my girl.
Yeah, so we see Asane. She's down there doing her job. She's healing people. She's having a great time. And so Rukia brings the two dumbass captains to be healed. And that's the last we see of Rukia. So we go back to Mask and Renji, who Renji's already sliced his fucking stomach up and is spewing blood goddamn everywhere and a part of his mask. And Renji says that a hero shouldn't hide his face.
I like that part. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like your classic kind of a superhero, supervillain kind of exchange.
Yeah,
it's like,
it
oh,
very
if you're a
much
hero, why are you
was.
hiding? You know?
He's getting some good shit talking on this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He does.
So Pythe's little dumbass starts to crawl out of his own mouth and starts cheering on Superstar over and over. He says, "Superstar, Superstar," and Mask says, "How dare you scratch the soul of a masked man?" And so the Star power up becomes complete. Mask gets a brand new outfit, black mask, basically naked, and this is where we get Star Lariat, which I was like, man, very reminiscent of Naruto.
Yep.
Very reminiscent. I was like, damn.
We get Killer B.
Put Mask against Killer B and the Raikage. It's like, we have the two go up against each other. Although I think the Raikage, being as fast as he is, would take it in a heartbeat. But Mask is also immortal. So as long as James is there, at least you got to do like a double kill.
No, you don't understand how much I love the third Raikage.
even with one arm.
I would also maybe cheer for Raikage.
Oh, good. So James / Pythes would be so impressed with the third Raikage, you would give up on worshiping Mask the Mask and then switch over to the Raikage.
No, you don't give up. You just go, I'm going to just let it fight out and just see who wins.
You're just going to be quiet while it all happens.
It's like, hey, I like you both. Whatever happens, happens. Hands off the wheel.
No, I'm going to be hype as shit the whole match and cheering on both of them.
Oh, good.
So they're both getting power-ups.
Maybe you heal both of them over and over again until they just keep going.
Yep.
All right, that makes sense to me. So we get Star Rocket Punch as well, and this is the portion where like Mask is shooting him up in the air, beating his ass all over and over again. Some point during that, you see Mask literally running up to keep attacking him in the air. He runs off rubble that he shoots
does.
Renji
it's so
through.
Cool.
And I was like, damn, that was really, really fucking cool. And we get followed up by Star Murder Punch there. And Mask says basically, you're going to stay in the air forever like this and die by the hands of the Superstar's divine powers. And this is when we get his Stern Ritter Shrift activated, and he gains his red cloak and draws a huge-ass red star in the sky.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
He had a cape instead of the wings. I'm my God.
Way cool. And it's like what we talked about last time. Some of the Shrifts where the other Stern Ritters are not that fucking cool. But yeah, the red cape, baller.
It's like a Macho Man Randy Savage cape.
Yeah,
I believe
the OG
I see that.
dog. So this is where we learn that Star Flash Supernova is the name of the attack that's happening, and it's also going to incinerate literally all of the Pythes that are downstairs, just cheering for him. And Mask is like, "Hey, don't worry, guys. As long as I'm alive, we are one as Star and Fan, and James will eventually come back, anyways." So from the smoke, we see Renji's little snake head peeking out from there. Wonder if it's going to be the old school Bankai or not. And it begins to wrap around Renji, become a new form. He says it's Hihio Zabimaru. And we get a flash over to Ichibei. This little fucker cannot leave an episode. He's in every episode of the season. So Ichibei comes here, and he tells him that the name of his Zanpakuto is a lie. The sword only partially acknowledges Renji, which I feel like has been true since the initial Soul Society rescue arc. Once again, when we saw his original baboon snake form, they were basically shit talking him the whole time. So Renji's never been at one with his sword here.
Makes sense.
It lines up perfectly. This is one of those things where like great callback, Kubo, really good.
He needed to get Bankai real quick.
Yep.
But he wasn't ready for it, so they gave him a shitty version.
Yeah, they're like, here, we'll ink out a little
bit more. This thing is so big you can't hide it.
Yeah, this is the most that we can ink out. Here you go, enjoy. So Ichibei says that he came up with the name Zanpakuto, as well as Bankai and Shikai, and that's how he knows the name to literally all of these things. He was the first to name every phenomenon to occur in Soul Society. And we find out that his name given to him by the Soul King is Manaka Osho, which it means speaking the true name. And that's where we learned Zabimaru's true name, So-O Zabimaru, which was close to what he was originally saying, so not bad. And my roller coaster of emotions here when I thought we were hearing number one start to kick on.
Oh my God, you too?
A whole new fucking song.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I lost my shit.
Dude, that was like, oh, okay, hell yeah. And then I heard a little bit of a remix. Like, is there a remix? Are they doing a remix? Whole new song.
New song. Same. I think it's the same group.
Yeah,
that does
same
it.
person. Same person. And it was amazing. Like, I like so much because I feel like, Renji has kind of been, I don't know.
Shafted?
It's hard. I was going to say the boy to Ichigo, but it's hard because I feel like Ichigo has so many boys. He has so many rivals. Like for this one, Uryu is like obviously, his boy, but Renji's been there as well. He's been side by side. So I like that he got his own.
He got his moment. Person. He definitely got a great moment.
He got his own song and everything. It was incredible. Fucking knocked out of the park. I'm amazed that they got that person to come back. I wish I wrote down the name. I can't remember the name of the lady who sang the original song, but incredible.
Like Renji has like the most believable friendship that developed with Ichigo. because they go from bitter enemies to rivals to
Love
we're still
rivals.
kind of rivals. Yeah, but that we're friends.
Yeah. He's had the most progression for sure. Where I feel like a lot of them have had the classic kind of anime with like Uryu is like, yeah, we're enemies. Psych, we're good. Hey, don't worry about it.
I like you. You know what? Let's kick it.
Where Renji has been the most cautious all the way through. You know, where he's like, still don't kind of like this guy. They argue all the time, and it's like, you know what? We're tight. Like we them boys.
It's the
Ride or
it's
die.
the arguments that bring them close together.
I could see those two hanging out on a day off. That's how
Oh,
I
yeah.
describe it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If Ichigo wants to hang out with him ever, but Ichigo, I feel like he's just always shown by himself in his room, and he just gets invaded. So we get back to Mask, and Mask attempts to attack, and Renji calls out Hiyo as part of his Bankai grows and basically extends his fucking monkey fist to go grab
That thing's
Mask.
badass.
And he like tosses Mask, grabs him by the wrist, and fucking breaks his, like crushes his hand and throws him into a building. And this is where we find out he really did, because Mask exclaims, "How dare you crush the star's left hand?" And now he states that he doesn't give a shit about justice or evil anymore, and you're so dead. He just wants to kill you at this point. And this is where we found out, Renji jumps forward with his new Bankai and plunges it literally right through Mask's chest, and we see his kind of new form of his sword at this point as well, which I thought looked incredible, looked beautiful, looked amazing. And we see the giant yellow snake of Reiatsu thing appear behind him, and Renji,
That was so sick.
yeah,
The
sick,
snake bite.
sick. Renji goes So-O, Zabimaru, and then Zaga Teppo as the snake closes its jaws, covering both of them, and Mask just immediately begins to fucking crumble to dust.
He got Thanos, dude.
Yeah, it's just like fucking game over for Mask at that point. And they end the episode with Mask fucking disintegrating. We get a fat after credit scene here, super fat. So Yuha, Baha, Uryu hanging out where they're always hanging out, just on their little throne, having a good ass time. And Yuha explains that James is dead. And then, which, you know, as we talked about earlier, James is the true wielder of the S. So he only mentioned Pythes is the true wielder of S. So he only mentioned Pythes' name, and he summoned the power to come back to him. So then we see a shadow begin to conceal Yuaba and go across the room as like kind of it's escaping, but then Yugrim takes its spot, which I thought was clean as fuck.
I was just about to say the animation for that little bit was fucking fantastic.
So Hashwalth is there, aka Yugrim, and he explains that Yuaba is asleep, and only while he sleeps can he return to being the father of Quincy's to build up his strength, and his sleep must not be interrupted.
Oh, he goes into Odin sleep.
Exactly. So Hashwalth and His Majesty are connected. Basically, he explains that like the two of them are, you know, we're buds. We're one and the other. And he says rather that's the case for all Quincy's, which I don't know why he had to explain that part, because clearly Jugrim and him have some sort of weird buddy boy thing going on. And he goes on to explain, like, you know, why does His Majesty possess such powers? What sort of being is His Majesty? And not even Soken Ishida was able to figure it out, which we see fucking of all people. I wouldn't have had it on my 2023 fucking bingo chart. Uryu's grandpa makes a fucking return, and we see him. I'm like, dude, what's he doing there? What's my boy doing there? But hey,
it's to remind people who don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, they didn't want to just name drop. Hey, yeah, so yeah, Soken Ishida, and everybody, who the fuck? And they're like,
gotta
remember
Google
the
him.
grandpa? Come on, like remember from the first few seasons? Like, come on.
I know there are people that are watching this new season that have never seen Bleach before.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of people.
Well, that one scene is not going to explain who the fuck that is, but I guess you could context who's old man, possibly Uryu's grandpa.
I mean, with the last name Ishida.
Ishida, and also if they bring him up again, they'll be like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the guy that we showed in that after credit scene. You remember him? So Jugrim says that he can tell Uryu as he is the successor of Yuha Baha, and that's what we get at the end of the episode. So potential big explanation of Yuha Baha's powers coming up, I imagine is probably going to be another fucking end credit scene, because they just love slinging those things.
We didn't get Ichigo this time.
True. I thought we were going to get Ichigo for sure in his new outfit.
Same. I was so excited to see it.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. So we get the end poem by Asnod, of course, because that's going to be the next episode that comes up. It's going to be Rukia's time to shine, baby. And he says there's no difference between living and being allowed to live, just as there's no difference between dying and being killed. And we learn that Bleach 19 is going to be called the White Haze.
I do like Asnod. I love his voice, though. It's so dark and creepy.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
I can't even imitate that. That's so cool.
It's so deep. That's the weird part.
It kind of makes sense for him, though. It's like
It
that
kind of
Marilyn
sounds
Manson
like
thing.
if there was a male version of The Grudge and it spoke.
Yeah.
Where it's very
Yeah.
raspy.
Yeah. I agree.
I expect him to be like high pitched and kind of weird, but he sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what I thought he would sound
And
like.
like I said, they do a fucking 10 out of 10 job on that. Really, really good. All right, Pythes, passing to you. I've seen a lot of people talking that there's a lot of cuts and a lot of changes that they did in this Master Masking episode, but I'm going to pass that to you, Pythes.
All right. So just want to point out, I love that Shunsui has the Squad 1 insignia on his little flip phone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Very cool.
It was funny as shit. It shows the difference between him and Yama. I don't even know if Yama knows what a phone is.
Nah, he communicates in butterflies only.
Yeah, he's butterflies, or he had that big screen that one time, and I think Mayuri said, yeah, just talking to the wall.
Oh, yeah, he did have the big screen where he chimed in on the TV.
Yeah, and I can't imagine he used that often.
No, definitely not.
See, we already talked about updating the topography and all that shit, telling people where stuff is. That's great. A title card of Mask drop kicking is exactly the same as in the manga.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Let's see. When Mask announces his name, he also adds that the cheers are the source of my power.
Okay, so from what I saw a lot too, I feel like a lot of explanations of Mask's power kind of hit the cutting room floor.
You didn't really need the explanation.
Yeah, it
makes sense.
You can
he's got
grasp
a hype man.
what it's from seeing it, and then the one explanation he does give is like, well, as long as I'm alive, James is alive. And it's like, okay, got it.
Makes sense. And that was the end of volume 62.
Okay.
Or 63. I just wrote, fuck Rose, he just killed me. So I have the thanks to the manga, the translation of what Rose's Bankai is. Kinshara Butoden is Golden Shala Dance Troupe, and Shala is Sanskrit for house or home.
Okay.
And the final thing for his dance, Ein Helden Laben, it just means is a hero's life.
Okay, I dig that.
Yeah, and as soon as Rose gets blasted, I wrote, get fucked. That's what you deserve.
Yeah, get
so
a star-shaped hole.
I do also know that in the manga, that Rose's Bankai, I believe, is 17 people that he summons, and in this one is a dozen.
That's fine. Got to cut the CG budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
you're going to die anyways.
And it doesn't seem like any, now that we know the translate names of the songs and all that stuff, it doesn't seem like any of them have to do with a specific number. So what does it matter? Cut it down.
Hey, he's just dead, right?
Yeah.
Rose?
Yeah, but no.
Like, he's currently dead.
He comes back as a zombie. Then he gets fixed because Mayuri can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he reanimates him like that, but that's cool.
Don't worry about it. Let's see. They cut a single line from Rose where right after he's hit by the beam before he falls down, he just says, crap.
Man, I kind of would have liked that. That would have been good.
So when Ruki and Renji are appearing and they're posing, I just wrote, oh, they have matching goggles.
Hey. Yeah. Well, I like to think that they probably got dressed up together and they're like, nice. Like,
yeah, they probably looked at each other
fucking
like,
good, dog.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So styling. The scene of Rukia and Renji Rukia taking Kensei and Rose to safety is anime only.
Great scene. I've seen all kinds of fan art for that one already.
Yeah.
Great 10 out of 10 scene.
Yep. See, I just wrote, yay, Isane's here. Let's see. Lighting from the fire on Renji's Bankai looks so fucking good.
Yeah, they did a really, really good job on this episode in terms of animation, like as a whole. Really good.
So the after credit scene is just a part of the manga. It's just a conversation that Yugrim and Uryu have, like right after the mask fight. So I don't know why they made an after credit scene. It's really weird.
I mean, hey, nothing says the after credit scene has to be an anime only. So maybe they just thought that would be a good little tease going forward, and like, fuck it, we'll throw it to the after credit scene and we'll set it up from there.
So here's the stuff they cut from the fight. So basically, panel for panel, everything that happened with Kensei and Rose is exact same as in the manga.
Well, they couldn't cut shit from that because the fight was already so fucking fast.
Yeah, it was short as fuck.
They have to give them something.
Good. It's funny as fuck. So here it is. So after his eardrums are healed, he tries to go for the Star Rocket headbutt, and Renji dodges it like it ain't nothing. He basically does like a Domon Kashu from G Gundam, if you've ever seen that.
That was like a foreign fucking language to me, what you just said.
Okay, Jose, you know what that is at least?
Yes.
So it's Gundam, but also Dragon Ball.
It's the one where, like, instead of piloting the Gundam through a cockpit, you're the fighter, and so you get strapped with a suit in the middle of it, and then it responds to your movements.
Yeah.
But how is Mask doing that? What?
Explain to him. Yeah.
Yeah, Domon has a special move where he explodes your head if he touches you. And
it's called Burning Fingers and Burning and Shining depending on which Gundam he's in.
Yeah, and he has a crest light up on his hand, and
that's
has a
the coolest
speech.
fucking shit ever, though. Okay,
he has whole ass speech.
If I got a hand tattoo, it would be that.
Yeah, I will send you the clip on Instagram later, Sam. You have to promise to watch it.
Okay.
He's gonna laugh because it's so corny.
It's so fucking. I'm sending the dub version too.
Okay.
So basically, a star crest appears on the back of his hand. And he says, with anger, this is a sign chosen to defeat evil. And then he tries to use Star Murder Punch, which Renji just catches. And then he tries to Dragon Ball Z Punch Barrage Renji. And he's screaming at Renji to die. And Renji just clowns on him the whole time.
Okay, all right.
And then we cut back to the anime.
So they cut a whole bunch of scenes of Renji being a fucking badass, huh?
Renji dog walks Mask for a while.
I feel like those cut scenes that they did, like the one that you're talking about, it kind of lessens Renji's W. Because I feel like with this one, it was such a minor exchange. Obviously, Renji fucking roasted his ass still in the anime. But it wasn't shown how dominant Renji was as compared to the manga. The scene in the manga and the cut where he's dodged the headbutt and he tries to hit him with his insta-killer hand move and Renji still just fucking dodges. That just shows him like being a badass.
Like he doesn't even dodge the murder punch. He grabs it, and he doesn't.
He Dragon Ball catches it.
Yeah.
Okay, Renji literally catches his murder punch, and he's like, "Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, what the fuck you gonna do about it?"
Because he's a villain, man.
Damn. Hey, I hate to say it. Even when Renji's getting W's, he's getting L's. That's tough, dude.
And it's during like the punch barrage, I believe, unless I'm crazy and forgot that a Mask looks over and he has cut me in half.
Oh, crazy.
Well, villains use underhanded tricks.
Dog, that's what I'm saying. They're changing these fights sometimes and they're making them fast as fuck. Like that would
have been so nice. That would have been almost a whole episode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know maybe it's something to do with the pacing of next episode, because we are going to get an explanation of what the fuck is up with Yuha. But like
that might make sense, yeah.
They didn't need the after credit scene. Just skip that and give me more of the Mask fight.
True.
And then move the after credit scene to just next episode.
I agree. I would have been down with that route, hands down. But I don't know. I think they're in their after credit groove right now. They're just like every episode needs to have an after credit cliffhanger. Every single one.
I didn't really get it last episode, but this episode I saw exactly what you meant last week, Sam, where you're like, shit's going by at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's fast, man.
That's why I opened up with that. I was like, it's just going so fast.
Fast as shit.
And even the stuff, like I say, and the stuff they're cutting is purely just for making shit faster.
And I didn't say it at the time, but when Renji uses his Bankai to like crush Mask's hand, it's because that's the hand that the crest appeared on for the murder punch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Murder punch.
It still looked cool.
Yeah, it still looked really, really cool.
I gotta say, I love that Mask has named for all his moves.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean, Basby did it too, right?
Mask is a fucking great ass villain.
I love him.
Only potential complaint I'm giving, this is pulling a little bit straws here, or stretching this out. Nitpicking. Thank you, Jose. His powers are very similar to another Stern Ritter that will show up later.
So, I agree with you.
So that is the only thing that is, I feel like a little nitpicky on that, but then the other Stern Ritter that potentially maybe looks like a Viking, maybe Thor a little bit,
fucking Gerard,
just like fucking Gerard.
His name's Gerard Valkyrie, for fuck's sake.
Oh well, yeah, there we go, combo baby. So similar powers, and I feel like with Renji, where we see he just suddenly, I guess, has the power to insta kill somebody like that, just put Renji against Gerard. Like, call it a day.
Then we wouldn't get the cool 3-piece combo.
I'm super excited for the 3-piece combo.
It's going to be so fucking badass.
But I'm just saying, if we're choosing prime matchups, apparently Renji is the ultimate immortal person killer. So just put him.
Hey, man, I'm just excited to see Hitsugaya's older brother show up.
Hey, yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go.
That part in the manga is so fucking funny.
Hopefully they don't cut
it. Yeah, it is hilarious.
Yeah, because that is totally, if I was picking scenes, that is a potential they cut.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I would not cut that for the world.
Yeah, but you're not behind it. You wouldn't cut the Renji scene either, Pythes, and now look where we are.
This is true. I had a whole thing about the shit they cut from Amida.
They're making some crazy cuts, and
you know what,
honestly, I'm for it. I'm for it because they should be able to, cut whatever they want to make it as quick as they want. But man, goddamn.
You know what, Sam, you're onto something with Mask and Gerard, because I'm remembering Gerard's also kind of a weird, goofy villain too.
Yeah,
like everybody's off having their fights, and then it'll cut to Gerard like running around wondering where everybody is.
Well, yeah, and I just feel like they gave Gerard kind of the Yami treatment. Like, there's just always one of those characters where it's like they're just the big punching bag.
To be fair, Gerard's like, he's way tougher than Yami was. And
well,
like,
how do we know? How do we know? Because he took on 3 people instead of 2? I mean, we never get to see the Yami fight.
Well, we never. Well, Yami dies for sure, and they never defeat Gerard.
Well, I ask you this one, Pythes.
Yeah.
Did Gerard have a pet dog? Because that's going to sway a lot into my opinion of Gerard.
Oh, that's true.
He has a pet dog named Master Masculine.
No. No, that doesn't count. No. We are undercutting fucking Yami's nice dog that stayed there after he died.
I was sad.
Okay?
I was like, oh.
How can you get a dog so loyal like that?
Literally, because he's like, yeah, Yami reminds me of my last owner.
Okay, well, let's not knock the reasoning on that, okay? I'm not asking for logic here, Pythes. He's got a dog that was loyal.
Do you want the lore or not?
Well, Gerard don't got a fucking dog, all right? So he's a loser.
He has his own dog.
Who?
No, he is the dog. He has that golden retriever energy.
Okay. Anyways, Gerard, similar to Mask. Super similar.
Very similar, and with a better design.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
I like the Mask.
I do like the luchador looking stuff.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good time for everybody involved.
Yeah.
like Mask is like Master Masculine is high up on my list of favorite Stern Ridders, but he's in it's like the bottom of the top 5.
I got a question for you. We still have a lot of 1,000 Year Blood War left. Has the anime made the Stern Ridders a more likable cast to you?
Well, we've had more scenes with them, but not a whole lot. They still seem they're like one-dimensional villains, really.
Yeah, so I feel like we're getting a little bit from what I could get from the end credit scene of this episode 17. We're getting a little bit of, it seems like they're trying to humanize them just a little bit with the Zhugrum stuff, talking about how he's the father of all the Quincy's. Do you wonder how he got this power? I took that as kind of like, oh, here, let me explain a little bit of the villain backstory. Let me give you a little peek behind the curtains.
They're just sprinkling it in a little bit where they can.
I still feel like they're just like, they don't hold a candle to the Espada. And I don't think that's just me, nostalgia remembering.
No, they're not even close.
At least with the Espada, I feel like, different personalities. This is a classic fucking anime thing. When they were dying, at least they got fucking cutscenes, explaining a little bit about some of them.
I mean, Ulquiorra's was sad as fuck.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I just feel like we're not, I don't know. What's there to say about the Stern Ridders aside from that Yuha created them? Like, what is there to say?
I think the problem is that, there's 26 letters in an alphabet, and we have to have, 27 because there's 2 A's.
Yeah. Wait, there's 2 R's also, or 2 L's.
There's 2 L's, and there's also 2 V's.
Okay, there you go.
And a guy called Sigma. So there's way more. And do we have time for all of these guys?
Dude, imagine Kubo coming up as like, yeah, I'm gonna have this troop. They're gonna all be a letter of the alphabet, every single one of them. And his editor goes, you're gonna have to do at least 26 characters then, right? It's like, fuck. It's like,
considering how much Kubo loves to draw weird shit, I assume he came in with everybody's design and was like, I'll figure it out later.
He probably had them ready in like a black book, and he's just like, yep, you look like a letter J, you look like a letter O.
Yeah.
S, you know what? Table, another A.
Moved him around, good to go. And it's like, yeah, we'll fit him in somewhere.
The man's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They all, it's hard to not tell them apart. They're all pretty distinctive.
True. They are all pretty distinctive. And the powers are pretty, aside from the Mask comparison, I feel they're pretty unique. He did a pretty good job with them.
I still really like the jail guy.
Yep. The only one I feel like he a little bit copped out on was King Do, but they just threw him in the
generic,
trash.
But there's got to be one
not even
generic
design.
dude.
He was like eye for iron. What do you do with it? Make iron claws? Like that's the least you could do.
Well, we'll see in the execution scene, but he can heal or not heal. He has iron skin, which, like to point out, so did Noitora, and that didn't help.
True.
That is true.
Should have? Do you think? I assume they have. Do you think Yu Baha gave them information on how their fights went with Espada?
I'm sure they saw.
Because I feel like maybe that would be a little bit like if I was Kang-Do and I was watching the fight with Noitora, I'd be like, ooh, yeesh. it's like that's a lot like my power. It's like it's not what I like to hear there. The homie just used two hands and cut right through him.
Maybe I don't try and start smoke with Kenpachi.
Yeah, like this isn't looking good for me, boys. I'm gonna avoid that big one at all costs. Like fuck that.
Do you think Kang-Do was talking to those three other guys like, guys, listen, I watched the tapes. You could all totally take Kenpachi.
Yeah. He's like, you three, I'm not even joking. Imagine you guys kill a captain for Yu Baha. Imagine. I got just the guy for you guys. Just the fucking guy.
Take out Squad 11 captain.
Yeah. It's like he's going to be by himself, fucking jump his ass. He's like, he's got no powers. And they all like salivating at the mouth. Yeah. This is going to be great. And in the meantime, he's like sneaking away. Fuck that.
I don't know why I picture Yuha being so like old school, and you know how like the old training videos you would get, and you're like, watch this video, and that's what he gave them on all the captains. He's like, here you go. He's like, no Bankai, no Shikai, you guys can kill him.
Makes sense to me. He's like, here's your paperwork, boom, boom, boom. I assume he probably assigned them all the matchups. Also, he's like, this for you, this for you, this for you, this for you.
I mean, he is one of the 4 war. What did they call them? War potentials or something?
Yes. Yeah. The war potentials. Mm-hmm. I think there's 5.
5?
There's Rocky, Aizen, Ichigo, Urahara, and who am I missing?
Ichibe.
Yama. Oh, wait, yeah, it's Ichibe.
Yeah, Yama wasn't part of it because he got fucking roasted, homie.
Boy fucking did he. Good fight, though.
Mm-hmm.
Great fight.
Yeah, GG's.
For the homie.
I will say that's what we're still missing from this season. Like the holy shit, look at this animation long fight that lasts for 2 episodes.
True. I agree. I think they are saving that for the Kenpachi and Grimmy fight. But with how fast all of these fights have been going on, I don't know.
The fight lasts like a volume. And all the other fights so far have lasted like half a volume. So they'll last 2 episodes.
Because
probably.
we have to get the Yachiru stuff in there as well. So there's got to be at least a couple episodes dedicated to Grimmy and Kenpachi. But if I remember correctly from the manga, the Kenpachi and Grammy fight is going on the same time as the Miyuri versus the hand fight, right?
No, that hand fight happened.
Pernita's like later.
Yeah. Oh, really? I fucking remember that going hand in hand.
No.
I think that's 3rd season part.
I think you're thinking that because during that fight, Mayuri has to save Kenpachi from rushing in like a dumbass and getting killed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Potentially, I guess. I don't know. I could have sworn they were hand in hand. Okay, so yeah, there's got to be the Kenpachi fight.
Get it?
Yeah. Meant to do that. Hilarious. But it's got to be Kenpachi versus Grammy then. 100%.
And that should be happening relatively soon because I think after you got the Rukia fight and then Bianchi shows up and I think the Yachiru thing. And then I think possibly, just the Grimmy fight left.
Yeah. I think that'll be the big one of the season for sure. Like we were talking about last time, we don't, aside from Ichigo's new fit, we're pretty much running out of scenes of stuff that we saw in the trailer. So it's all going to be new ground.
I forget where the fight with the zombie girl happens. It's happened somewhere in there.
I think that's right before, right?
It should be after the Rukia fight, but before Grimmy.
All right, well, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
We all got boomer memory here, so who knows where that fight's going to go. Hopefully someone in the comments can let us know. Anything else that was missed, cut, or anything you want to talk about, Pythes?
Fuck Rose, he killed me.
Okay, yeah, I mean, hey, I agree with that shit. Honestly, fuck Rose, fuck Kensei. So.
Once again, Mask has come in with a bunch of drop kicks from nowhere since the start of this anime, and I've loved every second of it.
True. We're never going to see him again.
Yep. And
rest in peace, homie.
Again, I laughed so hard I cried when Rose got hit with the star beam. That's all I got.
Well, sadistic,
he's like,
homie.
Wow.
Oh, didn't they also cut a scene where Mask remembers Renji?
I don't think so. But that could just be me forgetting shit.
I think they cut a scene where Mask.
Didn't I drop kick you already?
That's what I literally think the exchange is. And I think Renji gets upset that he wasn't remembered.
That sounds about right.
I swear. Because I'm watching this hand in hand with the manga flipping through it, and I don't think that's in there.
Damn,
all right.
Mandala.
So potentially I just created that scene, or it could be in the manga somewhere. Who's to really say? Anyways, we got good shit coming up. We got Rukia coming up. We talked about Kenpachi versus Grammy. There's a zombie girl fight that happens somewhere there. Byakuya returns. And anything that happens after that, who the fuck knows? It could be goddamn anything. The amount of scenes we're going to have. We're going to get Yuaba backstory. Ichigo's got to show up at some point. It's going to be all kinds of good shit. All right, let's wrap it. Thank you guys for hanging out. As always, we'll be back next weekend for another episode. Let us know what your favorite part of the episode was, what your favorite cut. Let's get into the animation portion of it. And if you know where any of the fights that we're just bumfuck confused on, where those come into play in a timeline, leave it in the comments down below. And, of course, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. We will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.